日本時間8月14日、ドジャースの佐々木朗希投手が本拠地でのブルワーズ戦に先発出場をしました。この日の佐々木投手は最速 100.4 マイルを計測するも制球に苦しみ、4回には2者連続の押し出し四球で2失点を喫しました。しかしそこから見事に立て直し、6回を4安打2失点101球で投げ切る粘りの投球を見せました。また佐々木降板後の6回には代打のマンシー選手がドジャースタジアム歴代最多本塁打となる逆転スリーランを放ち、チームは勝利まであと一歩と迫りました。しかし9回、守護神ディアス投手が4連打を浴びて逆転を許し、痛恨の敗戦となりました。試合後には佐々木投手本人、そしてロバーツ監督がこの試合を振り返るインタビューに応じています。ここからはその様子を字幕付きでご紹介します。
今日状態としてはブルペンの時からちょっと良くない感覚
そこまでめちゃくちゃ悪いなという感じはなかったですけど、はい、
それ初回投げてみて自分の中でちょっとやっぱりずれ見て気持ち悪さみたいなのってあったんですか？
力しっかり入れた時にちょっとずれてるっていうか、そういうところは、あったのかなとは感じました。
その2回に足を滑らせてちょっとバランスを落としたんですけど、あの後ちょっと球速が落ちたようにも見えたんですけど、どんな？
いや、特に関係はないかなとは思うので、ただその状態、その時の状態投げてるので、そういう状態だったということだと思います。
5回終わって90球だったと思うんですけど、その後6回続投に関しては監督と何かちょっとコミュニケーションなどあったんですか？それとも自分の中ではもう全然6回普通に行くっていう感じだったんですか？
監督とはなかったので、普通に準備してました。
年間登板が20を超えてきて、夏場に差し掛かってきて、その体力的な面ですとか疲れですとか、そういったものはご自身の中でどのように？
体力的なところは、そこまで、問題ないかなとは思っているので、健康状態と、あとは高いパフォーマンスを維持するっていうところの、とはいえ体調も変わってくると思うので、その中で、その時に必要な力を出せるように、準備することが大事なのかなと思っています。
今日5四球でしたけど、耐えたっていう見方というか内容とも言えると思うんですけど、春先の経験とかで苦しいところ？
そうですね、1イニングでちょっと崩れてしまったので、その後、修正できたところは評価できるかなと思いますし、これから9月ポストシーズン入って、ああいう状況を許されないと思うので、できるだけそういう状況を、なくすために日々技術を確立させるように、やっていきたいなと思っています。
Dave, I know a loss is a loss, but one like this is a little bit of a tougher one to swallow, just considering you saw Roki, he was able to grind through 6, and ultimately the big swing from Max Muncy. Is this one of those kind of tougher ones to take back, just knowing that Edwin's been working really hard to get back on track, and you're seeing lights here and there?
I think the thing is that, a loss is a loss, but, there's certain losses that are more costly. And, when you use 5 relievers and you lose a game, that's costly, right? So that's what's kind of, front of mind for me. And, I just, we lost. I mean, collectively, Roki, like you said, lost his way a little bit in that 4th inning, but found his way and regrouped and got through 6 innings, which was great. And, we got a big hit from Muntz off the bench. But, the guys tonight out of the pen just weren't sharp. They weren't good tonight. And we still had a chance to win. But, I think collectively, we kept them in the game. Offensively, we didn't do a whole lot, but enough to have a lead in the 9th inning. And, those guys, you got to give them credit. They scrapped and threw out some hits and got some hits when they needed to.
Skipper, I'm sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Skipper, could the word frustration be used to describe what you just went through? That's a frustrating loss. I think that because I'm thinking about tomorrow and how we lost tonight.
Was this the thing that you continue to work through in the 9th inning, or is this thing where we could see it maybe maybe some lower leverage spots?
Give me another option. I mean, I think that I can't just say change and low leverage. I have to have other options. And, to be quite honest, none of those guys really are throwing the baseball great. I mean, that's just kind of the way it is.
Doesn't necessarily solve it, but could you go to more of a closer by committee type thing, or do you still think just going with him is the better?
We got to get other guys on track to even have that, to be even a valid conversation, to be honest with you.
Playing with urgency and managing with urgency. Can you do that and continue with it?
Who's the other option, Bill? I mean, you look back at the last week, and guys have struggled, and then I'm not going to sit here and play carousel and chase my tail and say when the guy's struggling, and then when he doesn't pitch well, then it's why are you pitching him? So I don't do that. Everyone's got a role. They all have jobs to do, and they all have to do their job. That's it.
How much of this is on Edwin to go out and execute and make sure that these blown saves and opportunities are not compartmentalizing and running together?
Yeah, that's a part of it. He's got a job to do. There is a little bit of he's coming back, and so the point is that, yes, this game hurts, it matters, but he's got to find his way, and he's got to have a runway to find his way. But then, it gets to a point where I'm not there yet, but, he's going to, I'm betting on the fact that the stuff will kind of right, and he'll figure it out.
How much of that extra scrutiny comes both in his perspective and yours, knowing that when he doesn't execute, it's in the ninth and cost the ball game?
Yeah, that's certainly fair. But, it's just not that easy when a guy's done it for, 7, 8 years, whatever it is, and to change routines. And, so part of my job is to give him the best opportunity to prepare and have success. And then it goes to the player to kind of go out there and do their job. Yeah.
Does this still feel like rust with him in some ways, or are there things mechanically, just execution-wise, that he's got to kind of he's been back long enough now that he's got to get cleaned up?
I think he knows, and he's taking responsibility, I'm sure. We've pitched him a lot, given, where things have gone with the 7-man pen, kind of the games. Every game seems like we're in a tight ball game. So there's really no opportunity to use a low-leverage reliever to kind of give guys a reset. We're in 13 in a row right now. So all these things play into, so, I don't know how long you can use the rust thing, which I've certainly used. But yeah, I mean, I know he expects to be good. But yeah, the execution, it does seem like when he doesn't execute, there's not a good result. And it is in the ninth inning. I understand that.
In Arizona, you talked to
failures just kind of start snowballing.
What's that?
Yeah, you kind of concerned that these failures just kind of start piling up. And
no, I mean, no. I mean, but we all want it to kind of reset, but it is, and I know people don't like to hear it, but it's baseball. Offenses go in lulls, and the bullpens go in lulls, and sometimes you get in a run where the starting pitching isn't there. So it is what happens, and it just doesn't feel good. And it's certainly more highlighted when the pen doesn't throw the baseball well, because it costs you games typically. But they're all working hard. They're all preparing. But, yeah, at the end of the day, we all have to do our jobs, all of us.
In Arizona with Edwin, you talked about kind of seeing another level of intensity from him. Is that part of that, too, where you've seen it bring out the best of him as opposed to him being the type of guy who's going to spiral from a lot of...
Yeah, I definitely don't think that he would have gotten here to this point if he were a guy that would spiral. But, yeah, it's just hard for me to dissect every, throw, and I know that the intent was there tonight. You know, there was some flair, some soft serve, but at the end of the day, you know, we ended up creating stress, and he couldn't get through the inning. So I know he doesn't feel good about it. So we got to figure it out. We'll do digging as far as a coaching staff to figure something out. If there is something we can unlock. But honestly, I don't, right now as I sit here, I don't know the answer. I don't. Yeah, thanks, guys. Yeah.
いかがでしたでしょうか。このチャンネルでは MLB で活躍する日本人選手の最新情報を中心にどこよりも熱くお届けします。専門家の分析や選手の生の声で観戦がさらに面白くなりましたら、ぜひチャンネル登録と高評価をお願いいたします。皆様の応援が励みになります。今回も最後までご視聴いただき本当にありがとうございました。それではまた次の動画でお会いしましょう。